friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. Mistakes are a part of human life. Every human make mistakes in his life and learns from those mistakes and move ahead. Humans are also said to be the statue of mistakes. But if we make mistakes related to money, then it is not so easy to recover. Below we have discussed some of the expensive mistakes made by humans and wasted millions of dollars for every mistake. So let's start with number 10. In the 90s and 2000, Yahoo was the most visited website or search engine in the world. At the same time, Excite.com was the second most visited search engine in the world. In 1999, Excite.com got an offer to buy Google for $1 million US, but the CEO of Excite.com rejected to buy Google, and it was the biggest mistake of his life because in today's date, Google was a market value of $280 billion US and the most visited website in the world. Number 9. In 2014, France ordered 1800 new trains from the SNCF company worth $20.5 billion US. The trains were ordered to make the railway system better in France, but the government gave wrong dimensions to the company and trains become little bit wider from the old stations when trains were little slimmer. The government measured 30 years old railway stations, but most of the stations 50 years ago, and here they made a mistake. After that, the government of France faced a loss of $68.4 million US to reconstruct the old railway stations according to the new trains. Number 8. London Millennium Bridge. The famous London Millennium Bridge was started to be constructed in 1998 and officially opened in the year 2000. The bridge was made over the river Thames for people crossing. The bridge was completed at a cost of 18.2 million euro. The engineers of the bridge focus on the design, gravitational force and sea level, but they forget about the force exerted by people walking on the bridge. On its opening day, thousands of people came to experience the new bridge, but the bridge started showing motion. The bridge was eventually closed for that day and then for the next 2 years to make modifications and keep it stable. The reconstruction cost was nearly 6.3 million US. The company faced a huge loss. It is one of the most expensive mistakes ever made. Number 7. In 2006, Alitalia Airlines faced a huge loss of 7.7 million US due to its silly mistake. Back in 2006, the cost of business class on a flight from Toronto to Cyprus $3,900 US, but Alitalia Airlines printed it for just $39 US. So nearly 2,000 people booked their tickets. At first, the airline refused to continue the tickets, but later they accepted the tickets for $39 US. As I said above, you won't believe that due to such a silly mistake, the company lost around 7.7 million US. This was the biggest expensive mistake made in any airline ever in human history. Number 6. Back in the time, a submarine was being constructed for the Spanish Navy, but the submarine never worked for the Spanish Navy. The fixed weight for the submarine was around 7.7 tons, but one of the engineers made a mathematical mistake or the decimal point error. The engineer removed decimal from the number and printed the weight for around 77 tons. After the mistake was recognized, the Spanish government faced a loss of 11 million US to recover, but even after that, the submarine never worked and around 6.3 billion US was wasted. Number 5. In 2009, a man named James Howley owned 7,500 bitcoins, but he threw away the hard disk of his computer with his bitcoins. In 2013, Bitcoin came in popularity and more people started investing in Bitcoin. In 2013, the price of his 7,500 Bitcoin was around 70 million US. This was the biggest mistake made by him and he might cry daily in any corner of his house. Number 4. Back in 2010, a woman living in central England bought a lottery ticket and waited for the results. When results were declared, she did not feel happy even though she won a lottery of 183 million US. This is the biggest lottery prize ever. She did not feel happy because her husband threw the lottery ticket in the dustbin just one day before the results were declared. Number 3. As we all know, there are fixed units of measurement like millimeter, centimeter, kilometer, milligram, gram, kilogram, liter and more. But Britishers uses different measurement measures called English units like feet, inches, pounds, ounces and more. In 1999, NASA launched Mars Orbiter Space Mission and the direction to the satellite was given in meters and kilometers. But Lockheed Martin Aerospace Company gave direction in feet and inches, and as a result, the satellite was disturbed from its path and lost in space. In this project, NASA wasted 125 million US. Number 2. On 12th December 2005, a great person made a very good mistake. The JCOM company, one stock price was around 6,10,000 yen, but a person in the Mizuho company of Japan sold 6,10,000 stocks in 1 yen. How did he make such a great mistake? Really unbelievable. Due to this mistake, the company faced a huge loss of around 225 million US. Number 1. In 1867, Russia thought their land area had increased and it was difficult to control such a large area. So the government of Russia decided to sell 1.72 million square kilometers to the USA for a price of 7.2 million US dollar. But this was the biggest mistake made by Russia, because today that land is called Alaska and has gold mines, natural gas and oil of a market value of around 2000 billion US dollar. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe our YouTube channel.